Hello, 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 and we're out and about. And I just woke the angry bootnik up, so hopefully he'll join me very soon. We know it doesn't take him very long. How are you, beautiful people? Let me know where you're watching from because I love to know where we actually reach people. So thank you very much for coming and joining me and my guests. I will have two guests today, but one after Matt leaves and the other guest comes on, and it's going to be a surprise, a very, very happy surprise. So how are you, beautiful people? Let me know where you're from, where you're watching. Let me see that. Perfect. Okay. So what's up, guys? So much. We saw Peter Phillips get married, and there's so much going on in the world. Henry Nowak. We have Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and his Yankee daughters. Absolutely. You know, this is the problem with gangrene. Sorry, I'm a little bit sweaty. This is the problem with gangrene. You can't have just a little bit of gangrene laying around because it festers and it spreads everywhere. You know, a lot of people told me that we're saying, Beatrice and Eugenie are not going to show their faces at Peter Phillips' wedding. I said, yes, of course they will. Of course they will. These people have no shame whatsoever. Of course, Beatrice and Eugenie were going to show it. We're going to show up. Do you think they're going to pass up an opportunity to be in the press? Well, hello, sir. How are you?
Here I am. Stupid thing was trying to open via Microsoft Edge, which I don't use, so
What's
that's why
that?
I'm late.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a different browser in it. Microsoft Edge. It's the do you use Chrome, Google Chrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, Edge is the default one on Windows apparently, and that's what it was trying to use.
Oh, because I tried to use Safari because I have Apple, the MacBook, right? But I am 57. I had my first mobile at 33. I'm not about to. You have no idea, Matt. It's like when I have to change phones. To me, that is it. I much rather my phone go forever, but the fact that I lose them all the time, then I have to replace them, and it's learning, even if it's the same brand, it's just relearning because it takes me a long time to get it just the way I want it and where to learn where the hell everything is. And then they do these updates. Oh,
I'm the same actually. I hate it. I'm like a boomer. I'm Gen X, but I'm like a boomer. I
you're
don't
not
like.
Gen X. I'm Gen X. When were you born?
I'm Gen X, 79.
I'm
I think Gen
68.
X. I think Gen X must be like 68 to 81 or something then, right? Because
Oh,
I've
so you
definitely
are
seen
Gen
me.
X. No wonder
Yeah,
we
I'm
get
Gen
on
X.
fire.
Yeah, there you go. If that's why.
Yes.
Let me just
So
share
much.
this with my audience. Hang on, I
Please,
was
please,
doing that.
please.
I think that's going.
Let me see.
Come on, StreamYard, do your thing. See, I'm a boomer at heart. I'm a boomer at heart. There we go. It should be. I should be on with my audience as well now.
Awesome,
How have you
awesome.
been? How have you been? Everything all
Uh,
right?
yes, I've been just fantastic, just fantastic. I went, I've been on this quest because I reported Harry's charity Invictus. I was starting to get, I just applied to see if I could get they redacted the report from Vancouver, BC 2 years ago, in spite of the fact that there were $60 million donated and tax funded payers.
Really?
So they redacted it, and we did a bunch of lives and videos about it. And then I'm like, why is it redacted? So in January, like I'm in Canada, I'm nothing to lose. So I went here in Ontario first and asked them if they could give me an unredacted document, right? And then they go, oh, no, it's BC. So I actually wrote to a bunch of MPs from BC, and two of them replied and said, come over, and I went. And they thought that they were going to have access to the unredacted report, right, Mike? Matt? Anybody would think, of course, they're members of parliament from British Columbia. Surely they will have access to those things, right?
Yeah.
So the MPs were like, what the F? And then they requested, right? Because they're really peeved about it because these two particular MPs have tried to get about $8 million altogether for various social projects in BC. And the government repeatedly says, we have no cash. And yet they're shelling $60 million in total, 30 federal and 30 from British Columbia, right? And it's like, what, for stupid games like this where only 500 people came? Well, and the 8 million, or a little bit over $8 million that they want, is for 2-year projects for youth at risk, single mothers, handicapped children, veterans, and all kinds of things. And we're looking at people in the thousands that would benefit from it, right? So we've been on the quest for that, and now the MP got back to me and said, you know what the government's response was? They
What?
removed the public link, because before there was a public link where you downloaded that redacted report. So as soon as they are investigating it, they already said they're investigating it. They launched the investigation thanks to these MPs. One of them has withdrawn from investigating because they were literally threatened and told that this would be an embarrassment for the king. And I'm like, what does the king have to do? Yes, okay, the money was given in his name, but what does that have to do with embarrassing the king unless there's something fucking shady going on? You know what I mean?
Can I just say, Paula, I'm well impressed. I love the way that you're even writing letters to MPs just to really twist Harry's nuts. You're putting some real effort in, and I
Oh,
love that. I
no,
love
no,
that.
no, no, never mind writing. I flew to BC twice, sweetie. Because
I
you know
love
what?
it.
They didn't
Love
even
it.
want to, and I'm in Toronto, they didn't even want to talk over the phone or send emails. And they were sent letters discouraging them. So now they come back to me and said, they're really pissed. Especially this MP, who is, I have to disclose it for because I don't want people to say, oh, the MP is not pro monarchy. I don't care. All I want is to get to the bottom of it, because why are they redacting a document that taxpayers' money, $60+ million of taxpayers' money, were used? And Harry's just getting right now 26.6 million pounds. That's about $35 million for the
They're just
Birmingham thing.
they're just thieving, lying parasites. This is what I said about like the Invictus Games. It's an interesting thing to talk about, right? Because in a similar vein,
You're a veteran for this.
no, but it's a nice segue because my video today was about that crash last week on Wednesday.
What crash?
So there was a crash on Wednesday last week in Devonshire where the Royal
Uh-huh.
Marines and the Navy do training, and 3 people died. But the media and the government, all they care about is the fact that there was a woman there. Like, all the media's just been, oh, let's talk about this woman. And I was annoyed about it and posted about it, and everybody started flipping out going, how dare you talk bad about our veterans? And I was like, people don't read. And the reason I'm segueing into that is because the very fact that the Invictus Games is involved means that stupid people will hear you
Yeah.
criticising Harry and go, how dare you pick on the veterans? It's like, I'm not picking on the veterans, I'm picking at the problems that ail the veterans. But people are that stupid. The fact that you're having a go at him, even though the lying, thieving parasite is stealing all the money, right?
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
go,
yeah.
oh, how dare you? You criticise this one thing, so therefore you hate veterans. I'm
But
sick
that's
of banging my head
sophistry,
against these
Matt.
people.
But that's sophistry. It's like
Pure, yeah.
and this is what Harry and Meghan do very well. They get involved with very vulnerable people, and when you criticize them, they twist it around and say, "How dare you criticize these
Every
vulnerable
time.
people?" When
Every
it's not,
time.
we're criticizing how they are exploiting these people. Because actually, I even showed a clip of Harry back in 2014 when he was talking, and they asked him, "Do you think Invictus is going to keep on going?" He goes, "Oh God, no. I mean, this is Harry. We're only going to raise it like, for now, but the whole plan is not to keep going, because, the idea is that just to highlight veterans, but we have other things to do." And here we are 12 years later, and that's the only thing he has going for the grifting and African parks.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely disgusting, the whole thing.
Honestly, it does me head in. I mean, you're talking about sophistry and hypocrisy. Look at that. The Labour Party sent
Yeah.
100 activists, flying them over on the taxpayers' dime, paid for 100+ flights to go to America to canvass for Camel Toe Harris. And then today, they're all
I
going,
remember
how,
that.
how
That's
dare he?
true. Oh my
How,
God, I remember that. And I'm like, shit.
and now they're going, how dare Elon Musk and JD Vance tweet occasionally? Like they paid to send people over here, door knocking. And then Elon goes, oh yeah, the British government are wankers, saying what everyone in the UK thinks. And they go, oh, this is interfering in my democracy. I'm sick and tired of shit for brains communists saying the word interfere in our democracy, protect our democracy. The more someone mentions the word democracy, the more you know that they're interested in crushing democracy. They're not interested, and the hypocrisy is off the charts. It's the same there. It's the same there. It doesn't matter what you uncover. You might find out that every penny donated to the Invictus Games has gone up Harry's nose, and they'll say, why are you criticising the veterans? They don't even believe it. They don't even believe it. It's bollocks.
And people don't know you're a veteran, do they?
I don't care.
Five
I
fucking
don't
tours.
care.
I mean, you know what I mean? No, but I do, because you are a veteran. 5 tours. You put your life on the line, and you have nothing from me but respect. You know that I respect you dearly for that. And even though you downplay it, you asshole, but you should be proud of that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying is, the irony is, people like me who've actually been to Afghanistan and Iraq and war zones, we don't care. The ones who are going to be attacking you are going to be fat armchair generals who've never done a day's work in their life, and they're going to go, oh my God, you're criticising Harry, therefore you hate veterans, therefore you want to tip an old disabled one-legged paratrooper out of his wheelchair. This is the world we're living in. It's genuinely, I mean, it's comedy gold, because all the people in positions of authority are complete morons. But this is the world we're living in.
It is a machinery they have. They have the power of the mainstream media, because, like Henry, we're going to talk about Henry Nowak. We have to talk about that, and I'm going to try not to get angry, because this is something that really gets to me as a parent. They're lucky that I'm not that parent. They're lucky that the parents of that young man are not me. I can tell you, I don't care. I would be one of them parents, that lady who there was this guy on trial for what they did to her daughter. And she's like, I'm not going to let you waste more time. And she came, I think it was in Germany. She just came in. This is an old case. And she just like, fuck that, bam, 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 and you're out. I'm not advocating for violence, of course. But I'm saying, if that were me, I wouldn't be able to remain poised.
I would be. I think the state lean on them. I 100% believe it, because when Valdor Callaghan killed those people in Nottingham, again, there's so much death now. Unless you're a sad bastard like us and you spend all day on the internet talking about this stuff, you probably don't know what I'm on about. Briefly, I'll give you viewers the backstory. Valdor Callaghan is another African immigrant who killed a load of innocent people in England. It wasn't too long ago. It was in Nottingham. I'll just throw one story up so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Go for it. I'll showcase it here.
Right, how do I share it again? Too many bastard things open. Just in case any of your American audience don't really know what it is, this is a story about Valdor Callaghan. They're having hearings into it. Oh God, you have to subscribe to the BBC if you're in America now, don't you? I can put my here we are, ITV. That'll do. This one. Valdor Callaghan, victim's partner, says she lost all trust in the NHS and police after the attack. As usual, an imported African killed these 3 innocent people. And it turns out from the inquiry that it was a catalogue of failures, as usual. And Valdor Callaghan was known to be a risk to everybody, but they didn't lock him up, they didn't put him away, because they didn't want to be seen to be picking on black people. This is all... This all came out. There's a photo of him, look, and even the ministers have apologised for it, saying, no, I'm not making this stuff up. So this guy, raving lunatic from another continent, kills a load of young people, and everybody's apologising about it, because they're all... But it doesn't bring them back from the dead. So these people...
Don't apologise. Quit apologising.
So they're dead.
Matt, this is the kind of guy, I don't know if he entered the UK or whatever. You take one look at this guy. I don't even need to see if his passport or anything like that. I was just like, you're not coming in, buddy. You know what I mean? And I was actually, this is a very interesting point that I talked to somebody, because the EEA rules applied now to enter the UK, and it's like huge lineups. And, so they're harassing legal tourists that are arriving to see spend hours on the lines on immigration at the airport. And yet here you have these freaking boats coming in and out. It's like, you know what I mean? With
Yeah.
filled with these murderers, and they get put up in hotels with money and everything. And God forbid if you say anything. And Keir Starmer was just heard praising the Muslim community. I would just wish that for
I
once
know.
he
I
would
know.
praise the white community. Why aren't they? Because I hate, and if you are woke, get the hell out of this, because the white community in the United Kingdom it's now a minority. You know that after the Second World War, the population in the United Kingdom was 99% white. Now I believe that it's about 40% at the most.
In London, we're still a majority, thankfully, thanks to the North. But if you
You
go to
wouldn't be
big
able to
cities,
tell it, though, Matt, the way that you guys are
no,
treated.
not in the big cities. In Manchester, Birmingham, London, we're in a minority. And we're inviting people like this over and they're murdering innocent women and children. And what I'm getting at is, we could cover these stories all day, every day. Your viewers in America and the rest of the world they'll hear about the big ones like Henry
Yeah.
Nowak. But what I'm telling you is, this is happening on a daily basis. There was another one today, well known to the services, killed people because they don't lock them up. And he isn't worth a hair from the head of any of these three people that he murdered. And the state is involved with it. And what I'm saying to you is, you're talking about the apparatus, the machinery. It's all linked. It's all linked. All of this doesn't matter whether you're talking about George Floyd, Irana, the blonde girl who was killed on that train, Henry
Yeah.
Nowak, it's all linked to a global machinery, which is to promote and protect the people that are invading us, cancel the borders, dissolve the nation state. And this is the way they achieve it, by lionising and promoting and protecting the killers and stamping on the throat of the people who complain about it. And that's why we have cancellations, deletions. That's why before Elon bought X, every one of us would be cancelled, deleted.
I was
they'd hide
canceled.
you.
I was
Yeah.
canceled. I was surprised. And I was canceled because I dared question that Meghan Markle was not fully black, and I mean, which is a fact. And suddenly I don't have access. And I was surprised when Elon bought X that I suddenly get an email here, log into your account. And I thought, what? And,
Yeah.
but it is the same. And you know what, really, I've been watching and waiting, because I've been watching the news and everything. And it's so interesting because I believe that many people in UK government took the knee for George Floyd, who was a criminal. I spoke against him and the people came at me. He pointed a gun at a 7-month pregnant woman in the
I
United
heard.
States. That is a part of the record. That guy had a record longer than my arm. He was a career criminal, and I am sorry, if the guy died, fine, but he was high on drugs. The police were worried about what this guy is, because when you're on drugs, you feel like a superhuman, and they were doing the things. I haven't seen anybody take the knee for Henry Nowak. And what I saw was that there's an embassy, I think, in Poland, and people were posting tributes to Henry Nowak. The UK embassy personnel came and took them down.
Unbelievable. But par for the course for our leadership in this day and age. You talk about him taking a knee. The Prime Minister himself took a knee. Keir Starmer took a knee for George Floyd.
For a man in the United States.
Exactly. For
a criminal in the United States.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? You know what, though? I'll tell you what, and this is controversial. No one will say it, but it's true. And as Jesus said, in a time of insanity, the man who speaks the truth is the most hated of all, right?
Yes.
Derek Chauvin was following his training.
Yes.
Only restrained him in a way that would not be fatal, and definitely did not plan to kill George Floyd. So that man is doing a 30-year stretch for murder.
Is he still?
Yeah, he's still in jail. They've done him for murder. At worst, even if he'd never had any drugs and he asphyxiated accidentally, he would have got done for manslaughter on diminished responsibility, and he would have got a couple of years for it. He
I'm
got done for
surprised
a
Trump
murder
hasn't pardoned
charge.
him.
He should pardon him, but he's playing the political game, isn't he? So he probably can't. He knows how much political capital it'll cost him to let Chauvin out.
He's not running again. What does he care?
I know, but again, well, we've talked about Trump's imperfections. He is still a politician now, isn't he? So he's playing that game.
He
I think
sold out. What a
everybody knows.
disappointment. I do feel he sold out. What a disappointment.
I bet you're on his last day of pardoning him. The Americans do it all the time. Biden did it. Biden did so many pardons.
But you know, this is the thing that I don't get, because what Biden did is legally not allowed. You can only pardon. That's the word, pardon. You're pardoning somebody who has committed a crime. You cannot grant immunity, which is what he did. There's a big difference. For example, if you have been convicted of a crime, the president can pardon you. But he said, from the past, any crime that you haven't even convicted of, you're pardoned. You can't do that, because what are you pardoning? You need to be convicted in order to be pardoned. So
Biden's was like the most crazy one in US history or something. It was like, I'm pardoning him for everything he's ever done, everything he ever might have done, and everything he ever will do. It was like he was pardoning him for stuff he might do in the future.
Can you believe that? That's immunity. And he can't grant immunity.
Yeah, diplomatic immunity. That's what that was. Rough lethal weapon. It is. It's unbelievable. And now, like I said, J.D. Vance is talking about it. The poor bastard. When you see photos of him as a kid, is the worst. Poor old Henry. There's photos of him on there. He's like 6, 7, just a sweet little kid. And now, the staggering, mind-melting hypocrisy of the politician, the British politician specifically, disgusts me. They literally they spent millions. It's not cheap to send 100+ people over to the United States to door knock, canvass and promote Camel Toe Harris. But that's what they did. They sent hundreds of activists to the United States to interfere in a foreign election, a highly contested foreign election. But when J.D. Vance types a few compassionate paragraphs on a social media platform because he's concerned about poor old Henry Nowak's family, apparently that's interference in my democracy. You couldn't make this stuff up. You really couldn't. They are completely shameless, to the point where they show the hand as clear as day. They're not even subtle in their manipulations, and they do it because the only reason you could be this stupid and ignorant is that you're safe in the knowledge that the media will look after you. And it's good in a way, because if they didn't have total control of the globalist media machine and the TV networks and the radio waves, they might be more subtle and cunning in the manipulations, but because they have the control that they have, hypocritical liars are happy to go on social media and say, oh yeah, we might have sent 100 activists to interfere in a US election, but we can't abide J.D. Vance tweeting every now and then. You know what I mean? So it's right there for the whole world to see, the hypocrisy and arrogance of these people.
It is insane, Matt. I gotta tell you, it is. I've been looking at that because I'm actually gonna show this. I don't know if we should talk a little bit as to what happened with the little boy. This is him. This is his godmother, and I think he was a university student or something like that, who was going to college and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was at uni. He was only 18. Shocking, isn't it?
You know, I mean, I'm doing this because you remember the guy who stabbed those little girls that were at the Taylor Swift kindergarten, and they tried to portray him as a sweet little boy. You remember that they put those pictures? They didn't put the real pictures of him. I can show you pictures of him and at any age, and he looked all right. I don't know if any of you in the chat know what happened with Henry Nowak, so you can explain a little bit, Matt, about what happened.
With Henry specifically, are you talking about?
Yeah, with Henry. Well, because I saw the policeman, and now they're saying that the inquest is going to be postponed until 2027, September 2027.
Yeah, it takes that long. It's ludicrous. It only took them 4 hours to try and convict everyone involved in the Southport riots, though. The short version is Henry.
That's him.
Yeah, was a normal 18-year-old kid who, walking home from a night out with his friends, got accosted by a known violent Sikh, a foreigner, and he got murdered. And the worst aspect of it was when they called the police, and the police turned up on the scene, they treated Henry like the criminal because of the merest, in 2026, as we all know, the merest mention of racism is enough to cause the agents of the state to close ranks and aggressively pursue the person who was accused. This is why it's called the race card. That we all know this. If you get in an argument with a black person, it doesn't matter what they did. They could have stole your handbag, punched your mother in the face. When the police arrive on the scene, they will say, "She called me the N-word." And they say that because they know the power of the race card. Everybody watching this knows the power of the race card. Yes, racism was a thing. We've spent the last 40 years massively overcorrecting for it. And as a result, you know it, I know it, and every black and brown man in the world knows it, that if you do something wrong, the first thing you say to the police when they arrive on the scene is, "The victim called me the N-word." And then the police go, "Oh, okay then. Okay then. That's been happening for years. This isn't even new." So this is merely the most recent high-profile case. Henry Nowak got attacked in cold blood, murdered by a violent foreigner, and because the violent foreigner told the police that he was racially abused, which didn't happen, the police treated Henry Nowak like the aggressor, handcuffed him as he was bleeding to death, didn't administer first aid, and he died as a result of their inactions on the gravel in handcuffs, while the murderer who wielded the knife was treated with kid gloves, was never put in handcuffs, and not arrested at the time. That's what happened.
I mean, let me play the 911 call. I'm going to show so people to understand. So the guy, it started, the guy who did this, the cold-blooded murderer, because that's what it is. His brother. Well, thank you for the. I just want to say thank you for the $10 for the super chat, guys. It's amazing. We're gonna play the.
Yeah, he was saying that they're legally allowed. That's a good point, what Honesty and Truth made. In the UK, because of this two-tier legal system, Sikhs are legally allowed to carry a big knife. That's the other problem. He had the knife.
I gotta tell you, that happened here. I was gonna talk a little bit about that, because in Canada, when I was way back, guys, this is before internet even was a thing. It was 1990, I believe. And I was here in Toronto, and they allowed the Sikhs, they allowed them to bring them to high school. Well, the mother effer got into a fight, and he sliced 2 fingers of one of the guys. That was the end of it. Those were the days back when you would put an end to shit like this. You know what I mean? Mm. And this is the guy calling the 911. So listen to what he says, because he's a fucking jerk.
Racially by some white person.
Right, okay.
We have the
call,
the actual call. Here's what his brother told police dispatch the night of December 3rd.
We just got attacked racially by some white person.
We just got attacked racially.
Whereabouts are you?
We're on Belmont Road.
Just out in the street, are you?
Sorry?
You're just in the street?
Yeah, literally. I just parked up my car to come home, and he attacked my brother.
Now, it's not clear how long this...
So he frames it, the guy racially attacked us, and I believe that's why the police rushed to the scene. Yeah. They failed to say that I think they stabbed him 8 times or 5 times.
5 times.
And you know what's terrible? They can see the blood. It's not like the blood, there wasn't any blood. Tucker shows the body cam, but guys, if I show the body cam, I saw it. If I show it, I will literally break the laptop, because it's so infuriating, because the guy kept saying, "I am bleeding. I can't breathe." Yeah, no, you're fine. You're okay, mate. So now every time a policeman gets hurt, they go, "No, you're okay, mate. Nothing happened to you."
I didn't believe him, did he? He said, "I don't think you have." He said, "I've been stabbed." He went, "I don't think you have." The most important thing here is the accusation of racism, mate. That's the way the world's been. Again, though, I keep ranting about this. It's trivial. It's been happening for decades. That's why it happens every time. Have you seen all the videos? I made a video about this once.
I just get so angry, really angry.
Have you seen it? Have you seen all the videos where there's a gang of the obvious, a gang of them on a train, on a bus, on anything, and the second that someone does call them the N-word, they instantly physically assault you. So they can. I've seen videos of a woman getting abused by them online. Where she's on a train and they're all throwing every insult you can think of at her for about 60 seconds. And then she waits until the door's closed and she gets off and then she says the N-word through the gap in the door. And they all go mental and everyone laughs about it, saying, oh, look at them acting like cavemen. They're not going mental because they haven't got any impulse control at all. They're going mental because they know they have a free pass to bodily assault you. If you don't say it, they say you did say it. So they have a free pass to attack you. And if you did say it, they do have a free pass to attack you. They could kick you to death on a train. And if you said that word, the government would go, oh yeah, but he shouldn't have said that word. It's just an insult. The race card is the most powerful card you can possibly play. And that's why Henry's dead. Why isn't his brother being prosecuted? Why? I can talk about this all day. Why?
And then his skanky mother, who came to the scene because they called the mother, and the mother came and got the knife and went back to hide it. And then, I have clips of the family and everybody's so angry they know where they live, right? And the police is protecting them. Why are you wasting money on these pieces of shit? And I'm not going to even say shite, because these people, they're all criminals. And you know what? I really, and I'm not even the parent, Matt, but I just keep thinking that poor boy drowning in his own blood and being handcuffed. And can you imagine him knowing that he's dying? And what a death! What a horrible thing.
Yeah, and you've got a kid his age, so it's
25. My son is 25. Yeah, he just turned 25. Yeah, it's even but okay, yeah. I guess I'm more susceptible to that shit. But even if I weren't,
that's the point you made earlier, and it's a two-tier legal system because they're allowed to carry the knives. That's what I was pointing about earlier.
And now they're going to talk about banning. They're thinking, what the hell are they waiting for?
Again, they've got to have kid gloves when brown people are involved. Look at I'll tell you what, this will make you angry. The sex gangs in the UK, the child torture murder gangs is what they were.
Yeah.
Not a single one of those cases ever was racially aggravated. So they were torturing children on a colossal scale, and as they were torturing them, they were saying to them, white slag, you deserve this, white slags are good for nothing, we're doing this to you because you're white. Not a single one of them was ever racially aggravated, ever. Some of those torturers got lesser sentences than Lucy Connolly got for being a little bit rude on Twitter, than Sam Mellier got for putting politely worded stickers out. English people who are white get sent to prison for longer for thought crimes and for being a bit mean on social media than Pakistani men get for grooming children. So this Henry Nowak's case is a pebble compared to a landslide of issues. And thank God now the normies are paying attention, because people like you and I have been howling this into the void for the last 6 years and nobody pays any attention.
And the press, you know what? And the press, it really, really bothers me because, as like you said, it's a drop in the ocean, the drop of water in the ocean. But this drop of water, everybody saw it. It's everywhere. And this is the thing. They always push it too far. And this is the thing that I always told you, Matt, because I'm 57, guys. I've lived through wars. Due to my line of work, I've seen regimes fall. I remember Gaddafi. Many of you probably don't know what Gaddafi Saddam Hussein. They thought they were going to be there forever, and because it gets to their heads, it becomes part of the folklore, whatever you want to call it. And then they take it too far. It's like the royal family taking things too far, the government taking things too far. I see the police just now arrested a man for saying I like bacon in the UK. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Arrested a man for saying I like bacon, but didn't arrest the brother of the man who's just murdered someone for lying to the police to facilitate his murder.
And the policeman, did you hear what the head of the police said? That it was like, okay, it's sad that the boy died, but we followed our training. So, excuse me, what kind of fucking training? I'm sorry, I'm swearing, guys, but this is something, sometimes the word fuck is just sums everything up, doesn't it, Matt?
It does.
And it's like, what kind of training are you getting? Because they're getting sensitivity training, they're getting culture training, they're getting race training, they get it. And we saw that the two wankers got out who punched the policeman, and the women policeman got out. Because the jury couldn't come to, or the judges, whatever, what was it? Hi, Megan Small. Hi, gorgeous. Was it the judges? Was there a jury, or was it the judges who there was the second trial that couldn't come to terms and convict the fuckers?
I know. Well, that's because the jury is basically...
It was a jury. I just wanted to ask you, was it a jury?
But these people are tribal in nature. So if you only get one of them on the jury's hung. They won't convict their own. Sam Mellier, I told you about the guy who got locked up for 3 years. All he did was make some stickers that said it's okay to be white. And because he printed those stickers, they give him 3 years in prison. Jury convicted him. It's the Soviet Union is what it is. And
you wish it was the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is the Soviet Union, you know what? I am not a communist, but I'm going to say something. I love the fact that, no, you're not, a man is not a woman. If you were born with balls and a dick, you are not a woman. And I love it that Putin is doing that. It's like, what are you talking about? That is a mental illness. And yet, they draw the line at race. If I go and say, hey, I am black, like that poor bitch, Rachel Dolezal, who claimed that she never, and the thing is, she never claimed it. She never said she was black. She just,
Well, like I said to you, that is ludicrous. Again, the world's gone completely mad, though. So it's not surprising. But everybody knows that it's a lot smaller of a detail changing your gender than changing your race. They always tell us how we're all the same all the time. I'm going to look like I've changed my race. I just go on holiday and lie on the beach for 2 weeks and I look like I'm Hispanic. It's not hard, but I couldn't change my gender. I could make myself look quite convincingly a different race, but I definitely couldn't pass for a woman.
You may dress like a man. You may dress like a woman. And you and I, we hate Jeffrey Marsh, right, sweetie? So, you know what? I am a female and I'm a girl's girl. I love do my nails. By the way, look how nice my nails are. I like to do my nails. I like to do my facial. You're not going to see me act like that stupid Jeffrey Marsh. Or what's that one with the Budweiser thing?
Oh, yeah. You're on about...
Guys, help us. The guy with the Budweiser. Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know all the wrong ones, don't we?
Yeah, because we trash him all the time. So what do you think is going to happen now with Henry Nowak? The king, of course, you don't have to pick a fucking side. I miss the queen because I know people trash on the queen, but I can tell you that this shit would not be happening under the queen. And I'm sure the queen would have issued a statement of condolences. You don't have to condemn they're Muslim because we know that Charles is a Muslim, but you don't have to condemn your tribe, Charles, in order for you to praise the life of a young man who never had an arrest in his life. It would be nice to see the monarch lead the nation because that is one of the ways that it would go a million miles to heal people, to see that they are also seen, that it is recognized.
King Sausage Fingers is being made to look even... I mean, the Queen, by comparison, I do get where you're coming from because compare her to him. It's night and day, isn't it? It's night and day. It's Michael Jordan versus...
Paula Matanovich on the basketball court,
Willow, yeah, I was going to say mini-me, but you know what I'm saying.
And I play basketball, but...
It's mental. It's crazy. But the world's been crazy for the last sort of decade, hasn't it? And we're just talk about in public. It's completely ridiculous.
But what do you think is going to happen? Because I think Stammer had the parents very publicly walk to number 10, I think.
Yeah.
What
Well,
did
they
he
get
do?
leaned on, don't they? This is what I'm telling you. Actually, it's good you bring that up because it's brought me back to what I did mean to talk about earlier. No, but I forgot because I was ranting and raving. The reason I brought up Valdo Calacane murdering those people is because the mother and the father of the girl, they had a big vigil for them in the middle of Nottingham, and they got them all up there. But only if you said, "Don't look back in anger, love trumps hate, we're all the same, open the borders." And Ian, the man who died, his sons apparently are conservative, and they were very angry and blamed the government for it. They got disappeared in the memory hall. They weren't allowed to speak. None of them were allowed to speak. And it's only in the last few weeks, in fact, I saw a tweet about it today, that now the family, let me have a look for it, that the family who spoke about it at the time and were obviously pressured into going out in public and saying, love trumps hate, open the borders, don't look back in anger. Now they are coming back out again and talking about it. There we go, I've got it. Put that screen up.
I've been watching your tweet feed, by the way. I've been laughing my ass off on some things you're
So
posting.
I responded to this GB News story, look, because this is the mother of one of the victims. Nottingham stabbing victim's mother, why was my son's killing not treated as racist? Because at the time, they obviously leaned on her and said to her, you do as you're told, sign this, we'll give you some money, whatever it is. But now she's coming out and saying, these are explicitly racist murders. Valdo Calacane purposely targeted white people. All of the groomers, they purposely target white people, and it happens every single time. And I somewhat facetiously said that to them. They didn't treat 50,000 overtly, aggressively racist gang victims as racist, and not a single case was ever racially aggravated. So why would they give her special treatment? Why would she expect to be treated any differently? The British government is overtly hostile to the British natives. And it's the same all across Europe, and it's the same anywhere. Canada's the same.
Yeah,
There is a global war being waged against young white people, and if they get murdered, they try and memory hole it. If they can't do that, they pay off the family and they get the relatives to go on TV and say, don't look back in anger. All they talk about now, the father of Henry said we shouldn't talk about it, we shouldn't look back in anger. We should. They've obviously got to the father and bribed, cajoled, threatened, or whatever it is they do to him. Don't tell me that I'm wrong on this, Paula, because you know for a fact that if your son got killed in those circumstances, you wouldn't just be angry.
Are you kidding?
You wouldn't just be angry.
I would go, no.
Berserk.
I don't think people have seen me. I mean, and especially, there is no way. There's no way. There's nothing. You think I would have gone to Keir Stammer's thing? I would have gone there and I would have come with a big plaster of shit and I would have smeared it all over his face. I would have smeared it all over the fucking door. I get out there just thinking about it because he's less than shit. And not manure. I would have gone to one of them toilets where those Sikh people poop and I would have rubbed that kind of shit on his face and I would have said, shove it. And I would have liked to see, they would have arrested me, the grieving mother.
Well, thanks for proving me right by flipping out, because this is the passion I'm talking about.
Sorry.
No, but how angry would you be?
Not even my kid.
And that's what I told Sam when I was talking to him. It's the lack of empathy that proves them to be the psychopaths and sociopaths that I've always said they are. When I see Emily Jones or little Safi in Manchester, or those innocent people who Valdo killed, or Henry Nowak as a kid dancing with his sister, my blood is boiling in the fury that I can barely contain. But they don't care. They're cold as a reptile 24/7. They just say, the family said we shouldn't get upset. It's ludicrous. If they better pray that nobody I'm close to gets killed by one of these people, because I ain't doing the no look black in anger. I'm going to look like John Matrix at the end of Commando. I'm going to get cammed up, I'm going to get tooled up, and I'm going to waltz in there, and I'm going to take as many of them as I possibly can.
John Wick their assets, like you think John Wick, you see what he did over his dog. right? This is,
Yeah.
I would John
Times
Wick.
five. Times five.
Times one. John Wick would run in fear away from me. That's how bad things would be. Because there's nothing. I don't understand why these parents are even allowing themselves to be paraded like that.
But this is what I'm saying, the bribing them, the cajoling them, you know, everybody watching this knows what I'm saying is true, because if you can empathise, if you have a normal brain, which these sociopaths don't, you know how angry you'd be, you know how much you love your kids, you know how infuriated you'd be, and either they memory hole the ones that they can't bribe and buy, which is what they did to Ian's sons. If they can't bribe, threaten or buy you, they disappear you. And that's what's happening. Because don't tell me that this bloke's son got murdered and treated like an animal, and all he wants to do is go, oh, don't look back in anger. He is boiling. They bribed him. They threatened him. They'll do whatever it takes because they're evil. They're evil people. They don't feel anything. They see little photos of dead children after the Southport massacre. It doesn't touch them. They haven't got a heart. They've got a raisin where the heart should be. These people are twisted and sick and evil, and everybody watching it knows it, because all you have to do is try and put yourself in the shoes of the parents. They don't do it. They put themselves in the shoes of the killer, but they never put themselves in the shoes of the parents.
Or the victims. You know what I mean, Matt? This is them, the people they're showing up because they found out where they live. Good. And then, and people are there, and the police are all worried for their safety. I got to ask you, because I really, you know what, because I really lose it, because I heard that they didn't even investigate when they got to the scene to see what was really happening. They immediately went, they didn't even want to know what really happened. They just went and put the handcuffs on the young man, on the dying young man. And now they're saying that the police are not to blame because he would have died anyways. How the fuck do you know?
No,
He didn't have a chance.
Punctured lungs, not the end of the world in 2026. No way.
There's nothing, you know, but they're saying that they want to release the inquiry until September 2027, because you know what it is, Matt, and you and I have talked about it many times. It is that they count on the fact that the news cycles is like 20 minutes ago. Like the Southport, a lot of people on the chat are talking about the Southport killings, right? Hardly anybody's talking about it. It's like there's so many horrible things happening that, you know what I mean?
100%. And this is what I'm saying. They control that. They control the radio waves. They control the TV networks. They control the BBC and Sky News and CNN and MSNBC. So that's what they do. And because the normies don't pay attention, it works. It only doesn't work on the sort of 25% of people that, whatever it is in our brains, that make us stubborn enough to really put some effort into finding the truth out. And our audience, we're a small amount of people. Between all of us, all of the online right together on YouTube, probably only got a few million subscribers. The normies don't pay attention. The first time I ever found that out, to my depressing enlightenment, was when I was living in LA when the Charlie Hebdo massacre happened, which was just savage brutality, murdering cartoonists. And I went to work the next day and I said, man, did you hear about Charlie Hebdo? And 9 out of 10 people at my workplace went, Charlie what? They didn't know. Whereas us, if I say Emily Jones, Henry Nowak, little Safi, who got killed at Manchester Evening News Arena, if I mention the names like Salman Abedi, the bomber at Manchester, or Valdo Calocane, you know who they are, but the normies don't. Because the government say, come on BBC, push the next slop story about Paris Hilton into the headlines, and let's hope these dopey twats forget about the fact that we're state-sponsoring murder of the native inhabitants of Europe whilst importing 20 million scary, hairy men every year. It's all part of the plan, isn't it? It's all part of the plan.
You know, it's interesting because I am friends with Lauren the Insider, and she is heavy into this. You know, she worked with Tommy Robinson and stuff like that. Molly, just thank you for the super chat. She says, justice for Henry Nowak, Sarah Everard, B.B. King, Elsie Stancombe, Alice De Silva, Aguiar, and all the white UK citizens being ruthlessly attacked because of your politics for a lot.
So Megan pays attention because she remembers all the names.
Of course she
Everard
does.
was the one
She's
killed by a
little witch.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? The normies don't care. The normies just know that the politicians know that all they need to do is control Silicon Valley, the only glimmer of hope we have, the only spanner in the works is Elon buying X. If it wasn't for Elon buying X, we'd all be done. We'd be fucked. YouTube were deleting and banning us with abandon.
Okay, I remember
until Elon.
When you were banned, I used to get so angry with you because you're my.
Yeah, I was always getting banned. They've only took the finger off the button since Elon bought X. But that's the only spanner in the works. But they do still control all the radio, all the TV, MSN, CNN, MSNBC, BBC, Sky News, Channel 4, New York Times,
they have an agenda.
They control everything. So the only spanner in the works, God bless him, is thanks to Elon.
Yeah.
But it's the way
I
it is.
forgot to tell you, because I didn't know this detail, but apparently this is what it came out. These mother effers were filming Henry Nowak when they were stabbing him and stuff, but they don't want to release those tapes because they showed them at the trial. So the guys were saying, where are you going? Where are you going, white boy? And they were showing. And then when he was stabbing him, the guy was laughing. They're so stupid. They were recording it and they played those tapes at the trial, but they don't want to release them to avoid inciting hatred. Fuck that. Oh,
I know. It's mental. And they didn't racially aggravate the murder. So the killer of Henry Nowak will get out when he's 45.
But that is racist. That is racist. They were racist towards the men. They're using his race, white boy and stuff like that. That was a racist crime. Racist has nothing to do with minorities. If you kill somebody because of their religion, race, or skin color, whatever the hell it is, whether they're white or not, that is a racist crime. That is aggravated crime. Matt.
Not if you walk. Not if you walk. You do remember, right? They said power plus privilege equals race. It's not racist if 20 black men kick a white man to death for no reason other than being white. That's definitely not racist if you walk. If you subscribe to their brain dead, mind numbing ideology. You know what's hilarious about that? They started spreading this for years, and every now and then you go on. I mean, it's more or less died out now because it's so illogical. But every now and then you'll still see someone parroting it. You go on social media and they'll go, actually, this isn't racism. They might have said, take this white boy and kicked him to death for being white. But that's definitely not racist because racism equals power plus prejudice. So they've stopped doing it mostly now, but you do still see it occasionally. And that was what the academics came up, the globalist sociopaths. So they said it's not racist when black people kill white people. But what proved it wrong was they tried to get everybody on board with this cockamamie scheme for many years. And then they realised that in places like Brazil, where they have a large black population, they're racist to each other. And you'll get the very, very pale black people being racist to the very black people who are very dark. And they went, oh no, what can we call this? So they came up with a new term called colorism. Did you ever hear that one?
No.
They said if you're black and you're being if you're a minority, if you're Arab or Chinese and you're racist to black people, under their definition, you can't be racist because you're not white. So they started saying, oh, that's colorism. And then it started getting, whenever they invent shit like this, it gets so confusing that it just dies. But they try the best to rewrite the English language. And it was only when that started happening, you'd see videos of 10 Chinese people throwing abuse at a black man and they'd go, is that racist? And they'd go, oh, no. People of colour can't be racist. So then they started coming up with a term called colorism.
Oh my God.
And that's what buried it. But according to them, they tried to push it on us for a few years. According to them, you can't be racist if you're black. No matter what you do, you can't be racist. So if 20 black men attack a Chinaman for being Chinese, that's not racism. No, definitely not.
Oh, and you know that the major, at least in California, the major crimes against blacks to Asians are perpetrated by blacks. For some reason, my cousin works as a sheriff in California, and it's like, and it's funny because my cousin, he's like me. So he doesn't speak very good Spanish because he actually was born in the U.S. and grew up there. But they think he's Hispanic because of his last name, right? So they always wait for my cousin to come at a crime scene, even though he's like 6'4" and like pale skin, but they always wait for him because if you're a white boy from California, they don't, and there's a disturbance. He works in Santa Barbara, Montecito, the nice areas, but but sometimes, there's the odd crime. So they would call him and they wait for him. And he goes, why haven't you come out? Because we're white and these people are not. They don't even want to see black.
Well, what's funny about it is all the minorities will tell you this as well. The minorities themselves, like I work out in California, so it's quite diverse. My team, I had 15 employees, 2 of them were black, 7 or 8 of them would have been South, Central, American, Mexican, Hispanic, Latin, and then like 3 or 4 white. And all of those, on Asian, I had 1 Chinese, he was Chinese American, Sam, his surname was Lau. All of them used to tell me this. If you talk to a Chinese bloke or a Hispanic bloke or a black person, they'll all tell you the other minorities are more racist than the white people are. Especially the Chinese, they'll be like, my mother wouldn't mind if I brought a white girl home, but she'd be pissed if I brought a black girl home. That's what's funny. All of the minority groups in America know this is true. And it makes sense. It's because the white people are the ones who've been attacked for the last 30 years, and we're the ones who get forced to watch Sesame Street and brainwashed by Captain Planet saying, hey kids, don't be racist. We're the ones who get that every weekend growing up. So of course we're less prejudiced than them. But this whole idea that the problem's the white people in 2026, especially after the woke stuff has spent the last decade, you almost can't blame the bog standard run-of-the-mill black citizen for being prejudiced now, because for the last 10 years, the entirety of the establishment has been telling them every single day, if your life sucks, it's the white guy's fault. So you almost can't blame them for being angry, can you? But that's what's happened.
It's so stupid, Matt, because I told you that I was yelled at this place by this guy coming out wearing a turban when I wanted to print some sheets. I went to get some stuff printed out. And I generally thought he was yelling at somebody else or somebody was behind me. And then he was shouting at me and he wanted to come over and punch me because I wasn't my head wasn't covered, right? And when I called the police here in Toronto, they go, well, he was just asking you to leave his establishment. I'm like, he didn't ask. I didn't attack him. That was a verbal attack. Did he punch you? Like, no, because I managed to get out. Me and City, my dog, managed to get out, So it's like, were you fully raped? No, but I managed to flee the scene.
Were you fully? Yeah. Well, I got a couple of fingers down my knickers, but that's fine. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible.
It's gross.
It's awful. You just have to accept the fact that you're the second-class citizen and do what I do.
I was actually, because this is Yorkville,
You've got,
you're
honestly,
not supposed to be here. This is not your neighborhood, buddy.
We can end with a public service announcement, which is apt because He-Man's in the cinema this weekend, and it reminded me of. Do you know how, like, when we were kids watching these cartoons, there was always a public safety announcement at the end, wasn't there? Like, the episode would finish, and then at the end, you'd have, like, Man at Arms had been making some toast, and he'd go, oh, I burnt my finger, He-Man, and he'd go, yeah, you've got to be careful when you're using fire. Like, they'd have, like, public service announcements. We should do them at the end of our streams, and this is what I've told everyone who watches me. You need to accept the fact, if you're watching this, that in 2026, we are the bottom rung. And Henry Nowak's proved it.
Bless his soul, bless his soul. I get so pissed.
Honestly, when you're out in public now, I don't put my iPod, my ear when I'm on a bus or a train. I keep my head on a swivel. I'm paranoid all the time. You need to, if you're a woman, wear an extra set of thick trousers. So, try and slow them down if they're trying to pull them off you. Take a rape alarm, take a whistle, carry some mace, whatever's legal where you live. You've got to be paranoid. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you. And what we've seen from the last 5 years is the total collapse of law and order, the total collapse of border controls and criminal records and background checks, and the cherry on top, the total submission of the state and the authorities and the police as they side with the people that will kill you or rape you. So just remember, we are the bottom rung. You need to be paranoid. And if you're not, you're going to come a cropper.
Yeah. Well, I have Megan Small coming after you leave. So thank you
Oh,
very
great.
much for coming. Yeah. We're going to talk royal shit now. But thank you very much for coming, Matt. And, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, buddy. Don't be, you know what I was doing? I was sending you WhatsApp to your old number and I was getting angry with it. Like, fucking Matt, it's not answering my, and then I realized
Yeah, I
it's
quit
your
work,
old
so I
number.
quit work, so I haven't got that same phone anymore.
No. But
Yeah.
I had both numbers, and I just want you to quickly meet Megan Small. She's the lady who donated and name all everybody. Molly,
Hi,
this is
Megan.
Matt.
Hello, Mr. Angry Bootneck. It's
Megan, you pay attention to the world. You
My
deserve
eyes
credit for that.
my eyes and ears are everywhere, and especially with what is going on in the UK, it is scary. It is scary watching it. It is absolutely frightening seeing what the politicians are doing to the white UK citizens. I mean, they have scared you guys to the point where you are afraid to defend yourselves. I mean, think about the whole Henry Nowak thing. Like, if it was a different race, like say if it was one of those Sikh individuals that had happened to, the UK would be burning. There would be riots.
Well,
I said
100%.
that when that happened to Henry Nowak, the fact that white people didn't do anything, the white UK citizens did nothing, is because they have been arrested and prosecuted and scared into not reacting, right? Like, we have all
100%.
seen it. So that's why, like I said, since that happened to Henry, there should be an old-fashioned witch hunt. You guys should be walking down the roads with torches bearing, and like, we want our fucking country back, right?
Don't
Like,
talk
get
me into
these
a good
people
time,
out of
love.
here.
Don't talk me into a good time. You've got eyes and ears everywhere. You're like Varys off Game of Thrones, but with better hair care.
That's so sweet. I mean, no parent should be burying their children, and too many children have been senselessly and ruthlessly killed by these invaders, and they have been allowed into your country by politicians,
Yeah,
which is disgusting.
definitely. It's
Well, thank you
outrageous.
for coming, Matt. Thank you for coming. I know
Yeah,
you
I'll
have
leave
to
you
go
to talk
because
about the
History has to
Royals
go.
now. Have a
It
good
was nice
time.
speaking to you.
Nice. Cheers. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, hello, sweet lady. How are you? We've been watching so much stuff about what's going on the. Did you watch the wedding?
Yes, I did. I mean, Peter could have gotten his hair cut.
That's for sure.
I mean, I saw the rehearsal photos yesterday, and when I saw Peter, I was like, I hope he does something with that hair. I hope he's getting a trim. And then I saw it today, and I was like, oy vey.
But the bride looked flawless.
She looked so good. Harriet looked. That
Woman.
dress was beautiful. The veil is that the first time she's getting married?
I know. I think it's the second time. I'm not sure because she has a daughter, but I don't know if she was married before
Okay.
or she just had a daughter.
Okay.
But she looked so beautiful.
Just because, like, I love the veil, but I didn't know if she was previously married or first time, because you know what the rules are with veils, right? Like, it's for your first time bride, not if you're a second time bride to have the big white veil. But that's just my opinion.
No. Well, Meghan Markle wore a white veil. I mean, that woman should have worn a motorcycle casket.
She should have just worn a straight jacket, okay, and a luchador mask. That's what she needed.
But she looked beautiful. I was looking at that post, and she was so gorgeous. I was like, oh my God! And everybody was there. Everybody was happy, except that I didn't like that the York girls showed up, but other than that, everybody was looking. Let me show you the dress because they showed the dress, Molly, and it's here. Look.
Oh, I know. It's beautiful, and it fit her like a glove. Did you see that? It fit her. There was no too much fabric in the belly. I love lace work on wedding gowns. I love seeing lace work on, like, beautiful, absolutely stunning.
Isn't that pretty?
Like, off-white kind of ivory color. It wasn't like pure white. It was
like Megan's.
Oh, yeah, highlighter white.
I was laughing with that because and I was thinking a lot about that, Molly, because I don't know if you've seen these things. We're gonna talk. I mean, wait. I'm gonna see if I can. How do I remove that? I'm gonna remove that, and I'm gonna remove that, and I'm gonna add to stage. Somebody did this. Did you see this? Or did you do it?
I did not do this. I did not do this. I'm not going to take any credit or responsibility for that. I did not do that. No.
But this is actually, they use this software to age people, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
this is what they use when children go missing, and then they, you know, and they've gone for a few years, and every so many years they use this software to kind of show
Yeah.
what they would look like.
As you age, yeah.
Isn't that something, Molly?
That is something. That is something.
This is what Harry married. I mean, and that woman is attractive. Is more attractive than what he has right now. You know, and this is, let me see, I want to show you this because I also wanted to. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw that. And I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put anything past Harry and Meghan. And it's shameful. It's shameful that they are doing this to their own alleged children. But then again, I don't think that there's a Lilibet.
No, I mean, well, to me, Molly, I don't even know what to think about. And you know, we're in an age right now that we shouldn't even be questioning this, because we don't question the origin of the Wales' children, because of course.
We know the truth. I mean, we literally saw the kids being brought out of the hospital. We've seen the kids grow up. We've seen how they interact with their parents. I don't know who these children are. I don't know. Like, this is sick to me. Whatever kind of game they are playing, like, Charles, grow a pair and take these idiots out of the line of succession that they're constantly being called Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie. Who are these people? Who are Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet?
I don't know. But, you know, one of the things that really drew my attention to everything, Molly, was the fact that the press was going all over the place saying a family portrait. But nobody bothered to mention Archie, because I even saw Tracy Robinson, I don't know, who wished Lily a happy 5th birthday. But it's like Archie doesn't exist, does it?
Well, you would think when you're posting a happy family photo, everyone in the family would be in it. Right? But it's very, to me, the whole thing is so creepy. As a parent, anytime I see Meghan post these disgusting photos, it's like you are dishing up this little girl, if she is yours, to predators. That's what you're doing. Because every single photo that we see of this little girl, she's in her pajamas. She's standing in the sunlight, where the pajamas, you can kind of see through. You can see the child's body underneath. I'm a mother. I'm going to notice these things. I would not put my child in that position and then share the photos online, to where there are tons of predators and freaks and pedos online. We know all of the weirdos that are online, but Harry and Meghan are doing this and claiming, oh, we're doing it because we're fighting children's safety online. No, you're literally like, whenever I look at Meghan, I'm like, oh, you're trafficking your kids again. That's the picture that I'm getting. Like, you're putting them on a silver platter for these predators to look at and gawk at, to your, 4.8 million Instagram account. And then Tracy is sharing it to her multiple million accounts. Like, and you call yourself a online advocate for children's safety?
Yeah. And there were just, even Newsweek published that it is not safe because she said, that's another thing that really annoyed me, Molly, is like, she clapped back at people trashing her for her hypocrisy of talking about children's safety online, and then taken off to Geneva and lecture those parents, because that's the problem. She lectures the parents and she never gives any examples like, I use this platform for this. Instead, she's showcasing her kid at her feet, always in a submissive, derogatory position, always at her feet, scared, soiled. Because, you know, do you remember when she showed the kids the soiled diaper? I think it was Archie and then Lily.
It was supposed to be Archie's first birthday. And you present a child that you want to present to the world as a prince in soiled diapers. William and Catherine, no parent that actually loves their child would actually present them in public like that, ever. We have never seen any royal child in the history of royals, not just British royals, every British household. We have never seen kids in their pajamas, because parents don't do that. They don't feed it to all the weirdos that are out there.
It is. I gotta tell you, I was thinking because we're both parents, right? And I was thinking, even my dog Siri. I mean, today you were watching Monster and stuff like that, like. But even when we present our kids, because there's this very good article that even the way Meghan Markle says that she's presenting, I don't show their faces. Well, she kind of does. You know what I mean? And then this is a very good article because it says that creeps and the internet, they look for geolocations, all kinds of things. They just need to see partially your face, unless she's using actors or those are not her kids, which is why she feels comfortable.
That's what I've said. I said, those aren't her kids. Those aren't their kids. Whoever these kids are that they're using, they are not Harry and Meghan's children. Because on one hand, you can't constantly be like, oh, like First of all, they've used multiple different kids before. Like, remember their photo of Archie in the bathtub?
Oh God, yeah.
Who posts that? That wasn't even the same kid that you were like. Come on.
I did a comparison side by side, even with Ron. Ron superimposed the face. It's like square face, big eyes. And one of the biggest giveaways is, we have a space between our eyebrows and our eyelids, right? Yes. And when you see that, it's Archie, or the one that they posted in the first birthday card, Christmas card, was like huge space. Well, the second kid, it's like almost Asian looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, the royal family has let this go on long enough, this shit show. It looks stupid. It looks so stupid. It makes the royal family look so cheesy because every time the royals do something, these two always got to pop up with something, right? And overshadow them. And it just makes the royal family look so cheap and gross. I mean, did you see that stupid photo that they released of it's supposed to be Archie all by himself in the background?
Whatever you're doing.
Sorry, I'm Molly Sullivan.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I saw this.
No. It's just that I didn't know it had sound. No, but this is sorry, but keep on going. But which photo did they release?
They released some photo of like at Harry being at Nacho's thing, and then there was a boy with bright red hair standing all by himself when the crowd is elsewhere. Like, get out of here with that shit. Go away.
And they were saying that was Archie?
Yeah, they were trying to say that. The kid's hair was bright orange, like carrot top. And they were trying to like, go away with that shit. Seriously.
I'm interviewing actually, I have to edit the interview. This guy who works with genetics, right?
Yeah.
And then I was saying, is it possible? Because let's not forget, Meghan does have white on her side. Like the Markles are very blonde and blue-eyed and blah, blah, blah. And you have the Spencers, and there is some red hair.
Red hair. Markle Jr., Thomas Markle Jr., he has red hair. I've seen photos of him, like when he was younger, his hair has a little bit of red to it.
Yeah. And of course, we know the Spencers, right?
Yeah.
And, and Princess Diana, out of the two children, one was red hair. Mm-hmm. But then again, the British royal family also has red hair in them, and they're very white families. We have, and then because I asked them, and I don't understand this thing about recessive gene, or I really don't understand, how to explain it to people. So the guy said to me, go grab a bucket, a liter of water, and then grab different colors of tint, and then put a quarter, empty 3/4 of the water and put black tint, and then see what happens to the water. And that's the simplest way he could say it. And then add red tint to it and see what happens to it. He said the black is always going to absorb more because it's the strongest color. Look at Catherine, for example. Look at her kids are not blue eye.
Yeah.
But yet Meghan, her kids have Lily has blue eyes.
Sure. We're supposed to believe that Meghan Markle gave birth to two complete gingers, white, without a speck of her frizzy hair, without a speck of her genetics, without a speck of her like skin color, not even an olive tone to their children, not even tan tone, just like the most the Harry and Meghan's children, despite Meghan being a woman of color, are whiter than William and Catherine's children.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what Meghan wants us to believe.
Yeah.
You know, that's
And
what Megan wants us to believe.
crazy thing is watching their fans be like, oh, look at these white children. It's like, oh, so clearly you women of color hate yourselves because you are falling over these apparent alleged white children, right? You're so glad that these alleged white children are named after a racist monarch, right? Like Megan called her, but then named her Lilibet. Why didn't they name her Doria?
That's what I always said, is like, and it's a little bit Diana.
Yeah.
How about Doria?
Yeah.
What's
what's
wrong with
Or
Doria?
what about their grandmother, Jeanette?
Yeah, oh yeah, the grandmother.
her
That is
aunt,
true.
Sandra.
I'd forgotten about that. Didn't Megan say that she took care of her? That she
Yes.
was her provider or some shit like that?
See? Yep. Yep.
I remember that. She said that she took care of her mother. She was like 13 years old, and she was she was a sole time carer
Yeah.
of her grandmother, and she taught her to do what? What was it that she taught her to do? Like, was it the marmalade or something like that?
Claimed that she learned her mother's apple butter recipe.
Or look at Claudia Salas is being spicy, or Auntie Yvonne.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love spiky. Yeah, where is Ashley?
I don't know.
Isn't she an immigration lawyer? Is she out of the picture now with Harry's stuff that's going on about the visa? Do we know anything about that visa, Molly?
Maybe they just needed her to carry the embryo for them.
Well, you never know. You never know. You know, that's the thing, you know, Molly.
Yeah.
They have lied so much
Mhm.
that, and there is such lack of transparency. And like I was talking to Matt, the Angry Bootnik, at the very beginning of the live, that it's incredible that Charles is literally endorsing a commercial website on the British monarchy's website. Do you know how much traffic they get a day on that website?
Oh, tons, like billions per month, per day, millions, tons.
That is such
They're still on
free
there. I
advertising.
look every single day, and almost every single day I try and post that on my X account. Just a reminder, these two are on the royal website, and there's a hyperlink to Sussex.com that Meghan has been using since the Australia trip and acting like they are half in, half out royals. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's promoting that one-off because in her
100%
Sussex thing, she has the
endorsing it.
one-off thing, right?
100% endorsing it. All of it. All of it.
It is so disheartening, you know, because I thought that he was going to do something different, and I don't understand why he gave in, because people say, well, he never officially announced that they were getting the title, which is true.
Yeah,
but Meghan said it. Meghan said it, and then it got changed 24 hours on the website.
Yeah, which I don't like. Why? It like the king wasn't it like. Charles just got the crown on his head, and it was like, this is Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. After all the years, and their lapdog, Omid Scobie, claimed that they don't want any titles or anything. Remember, I make sure to bring up that tweet all the time. When Archofficial was dropped off by the Amazon delivery guy, he says Harry and Meghan will forego a title.
Oh, yes, I remember.
The best private life as possible. Right? It was all about private life. We don't want titles. Meghan had Harry telling people, oh, just call me Harry. Remember, just call me Harry. I'm not Prince. Meghan told Edward Enninful, just call me Meghan. Just call me Meghan, not Duchess. And
yeah,
now,
now it's not.
You see, everything is see-through. And, well, this is disgusting. I would never.
And isn't it amazing how this little girl never grows? Because allegedly the little girl with the heart in the face is from last year.
Girl, I would never post photos like this. Like, you can literally see in the one with the heart on her face, you can literally see the outline of her body through that outfit. Like, this is what you put out for freaks and pedophiles and creepers online. You would never, as a mother, if that was really Meghan's daughter, would she really be doing this? No, I don't think so. But this just tells you, like, you're a disgusting individual to be even exploiting a child in this manner, to say, oh, this is my kid. Like, here. My half-nude child, who everyone knows, little girls, when they're wearing pajamas, all they wear is their underwear underneath it. That's a great, like, image for freaks online. And then you've got Megan sharing it to her Instagram page, which has 4.8 million or whatever. And then her friend Tracy is sharing it to her. Like, why are these adults sharing a 5-year-old's birthday, like, photos in her pajamas? You guys are all sick.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
it
would have been a normal picture? Lily and like some of her friends at a party, right? That's what normal kids do. But there's no friends around these children. There's nobody around them. It's just Cell Block 6 Doria, a bunch of weird security people, and who else knows? God knows who.
it is kind of scary when you think about it, that the only people that these two children have are Harry, Meghan, her pimp Marcus, and Cell Block
Doria.
Gloria, the felon. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who else? Because like you said, and that poor Archie boy, you know, that they put for his birthday. Oh my goodness, Megan never post a picture with him, right? It's like him with Lily far away, you know, away, far away. It's like the ugly kid, you know, of the family that they don't want to showcase it. But you know what, when I was thinking, because, you know, I was talking to Pidina, and we were like, well, when you have problems, because she has a charity and she deals with problem children, right? And she says that sometimes when the police, social children's services show up at their doors, they want to see how the kid looks. Is one of the first questions they ask is if his behavior has changed, and how is their appearance? Are they well kept? Are they dirty? Are they fed? You know, and I'm thinking, nobody knows if these kids' behavior is changed because nobody's around them. So they wouldn't be able to tell if these children, by their behavior alone, are being mistreated because nobody's around them to see the difference. You know what I mean, Molly?
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, I get it.
You know, it's like they even ask the teacher sometimes when, you know, there's family or whatever, has they changed in behavior or whatever? But who do these kids have to reach out in case of help?
Nobody. They don't know anyone. They don't even know how to interact with people. Nobody has. Montecito. Okay, Montecito is small. It's just one small road that goes through Montecito. That's it. Okay. You in Montecito, you will see someone like Oprah at the grocery store. Okay, by herself. Nobody has ever heard or seen or talked or witnessed Harry, Meghan, or the children together in Montecito ever. I personally don't even believe they live in Montecito. I've never believed that they live in Montecito because they're always in LA. LA and Montecito is a 2.5-hour drive. When there's traffic, oh God, it's even worse.
Unless they take a helicopter, which I don't think they do.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
No, but it's interesting because people in Montecito have said they've never seen the children around. I actually did a video with Pidina for Easter. And you know that in Montecito, they have this Easter thing with kids.
Yeah.
And they posted, and they're all white. So Megan can even say that they're black, you know? The kids are never there. And also, do you remember that Emma Guerra thing where she invited Megan? But they had like a party or like a fair the day before, and Emma Guerra is there playing with her kids, but Megan's kids are not
there. Yeah. I see all the events that like Emma takes her kids to, or other people take their kids to, and they're not there. You always see, like, even in LA, you see celebrities. I mean, nobody cares that they're celebrities, right? They're just regular people. But you see them with their families, and people leave them alone. But they're doing regular you don't hear a peep about Harry, Meghan, and their kids ever. Nothing at all, which is why I always say there's a reason why CPS has never been called, because there's no children living with them. Remember that creep Carl Larson, who is now photos and stuff for Harry and Meghan? Remember when he got wrangled into doing the YouTube channel with Thomas Markle?
Friends, unlikely friends, or something like that.
I think unremarkable friends, something like that.
Or remarkable friendship. It was
something like that. Some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But personally, I believe that Meghan set him up to do that. Just like how she set him up with the Coleman Rayner to take those photographs. But Carl, at the beginning, he was kind of creepy because he was like, I went to the house next door because it was for sale. They were having an open house or something. And he went to go and snoop around to see if he could hear any children next door. And he couldn't hear anything at the Montecito Olive Garden. And now Meghan has that same creep taking backgrid photos for her and Harry too. gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing, because people think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Molly, because people think that paps are like before, you know how they would stake out places and stuff
It's
like that.
not
Like
like, no, it's not.
can you tell people how it works now?
Okay, especially in a place like Montecito or Santa Barbara, there are no paparazzi going out there at all. To get out to Montecito or Santa Barbara, you're calling the paparazzi to come out there. It is not like the days of Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan back in like the early 2000s or the 1999s, when they would walk out of the restaurant and there would be flashes of light bulb and they'd be falling down the streets and it was crazy. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that. Like, you got to call and set that up now. If you want people to take photos of you and to make it seem like you're popular, that's all a bullshit like setup. Complete BS. It's not like how it was at all. And especially in a place like Montecito or Santa Barbara, paparazzi don't go out there. There's like, why do they want it? There's nothing out there unless if they're called out there because they know they're going to get the photograph to make the money for their shot.
Also, I heard that sometimes, because now that they are so devalued that they paparazzi, it's not worth the trip.
Yeah.
That what they do is Megan has her bodyguards or whatever take the shots and then sells it or gives it to a particular photographer and say, you put your name on it and say that it was you. And that way, you know, it doesn't look as desperate and as bad, but it's actually because sometimes they're very up close pictures and heavily filtered, of course.
The ones that are like up close of her or from like behind and up close, 100%, those are her bodyguards taking the photos, or like one of her staffers. Because remember when she took over Kelly Zajfan's event that night and she was like harassing her baby bump before she gave birth?
That was gross.
We saw how Megan had one of the staffers following her around with the camera, clearly taking images, taking video footage of Megan the whole time.
That is, you know, that is absolutely sickening. And I think that, you know why? One of the things I don't think she's a mother is because all the kids hate her. And number two, she can't, there's no rapport, you know? I kid you not, Molly. In the building I live, I go and walk my dog. And I always run into these two elderly couple who are going around in their pram with their grandchild. And the kids are lovely. You know how to touch, you know, like relate to kids. You know how to talk to them. Meghan Markle can't talk to children.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? It's creepy.
She can't talk to children. She doesn't like children interacting with her. She doesn't like children interacting with Harry. She gets very jealous all of a sudden. Like, it was very apparent when they were in Australia. And, you know, they were talking to that, like, Harry was spinning a little girl, right? And then they laughed at her when she got
Yes.
So when Harry was talking to that little girl, Meghan had to have her hand on him, right? It's almost like Meghan feels threatened by little children. Like, she needs attention all the time. Like, don't forget about me. I'm here. I should be the one that's the focus, right? That's the vibes that I always get with her. She's a needy bitch. She's a needy bitch.
No, I know that, but I was thinking, why is the mainstream media protecting her? Well, I remember, you know, I did a video because I remember when she appeared at Balenciaga and people were saying she got paid $1 million. And I'm like, no, she didn't. She invited herself. Nobody's going to pay this woman. She's an attention whore. She wants the attention. But, you know, because we had this reporter, well, I don't know why they call themselves reporters. Oh, she was paid at least $1 million. And I'm like,
oh, that was the most ridiculous thing ever. Most ridiculous thing ever. I call him Pinocchio nose shooter.
Oh, Rob, yeah, I was Rob. I was trying to struggle with the name. I just couldn't. When you can't,
it was him
say the name because I forget the fucking names.
He started it, and then Neil Sean parroted it, and then Angela Levin picked up on it, and then it got spread, and then the designer was the one himself who let us all know that no, Meghan invited herself.
How embarrassing! Can you imagine this woman? And what happened, remember in Australia, right? They came out and said that she was making at least $250,000. And then the woman, I can't remember her name. I'm very terrible with names, came out and said, I don't have that kind of money to pay her. I'm not paying her a cent. It's Marcus who set this up.
Well, sorry, I was drinking some water. Everyone seems to forget that in the article that had been written earlier, she had literally let the cat out of the bag and said that she was setting up the event, and then she got an email from Marcus saying, "Can you do a favor for my friend?" So she wasn't like getting paid or anything. And then when that came out, they tried to cover that up by saying, "Oh, she's getting paid $250,000 she can make from her clothes." And like, no, nobody is buying Meghan Markle clothes because she doesn't wear them well. Just like how nobody is buying Meghan Markle branded crap or candles. And it's expiring, which is why she has to send it off to her squatties to get them to like be like, "Oh, we got Meghan Markle stuff." Nobody cares.
But did you see?
Katie,
Sorry.
the thing is, Katie, the thing is that people have to keep in mind who these individuals are that are giving Rob a platform, right? Because you can clearly see that there's slowly like the Megxit community has been infiltrated with bad actors.
Oh my God, I've been saying that because the mainstream media is shit. Their platforms are shit. They're coming onto YouTube and they're using the power of the mainstream media. Because whether we like it or not, they have power, and people go and flock there, and they're lying. They're literally lying. They're bringing the lies and their narrative into YouTube, and that's it. Like Maureen Callan, that witch. Yeah. So that was disgusting with Maureen Callan. I did a video about it because I was so angry. It's not that I mind that she had that guy on because it's her channel. She can have that author, whatever you want to call it. But the fact that she didn't come prepared. It's like, oh, so William cheated on her. No, bitch. Giles Coring, who's besties with Meghan Markle, started that rumor. And I even showed the tweets. Why couldn't she use her platform and be prepared?
Maureen's someone who believes the rumors of Rose Hanbury and all that. So it's disappointing because I always feel like they come into the community and then I feel like they use certain creators, get their name like in the community, and then they blow up and then it's like, well, we're just going to lie and then be Team Sussex. That's what that's the vibes that I get. Rob Shooter, let's be honest, is Team Sussex. He's pro Sussex. Tom Sykes is pro Sussex. Despite the fact that he'll say on Dan Wooten's channel, "Oh, Harry doesn't deserve any security." But then on every other channel, he'll say, "Harry needs to have security. He's the king's son. He should get it right away." Piss off. And he was the same doofus who was front row and center in Geneva at Meghan's
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I know for a fact because Molly, one of my mates that used to be he didn't work for the WHO before, but now when we worked together it was a completely different government, but she's still in government. And she said that everybody was screened. Everybody that was there was, other than the parents, but the reporters were hand-picked by Meghan Markle. And I even said in my video, why didn't he live stream it? I would. Can you imagine being in a place like that and you're allowed to be there because you're a reporter?
She should. Tom Sykes has no balls. I would have gone up in there with like meta glasses and like recorded the whole thing and live streamed it. Been like,
show her real face without the filters. But the Rose Hansberry thing, so you guys know, there was only one time Prince Harry attended a state banquet, and that was in July 2017. Meghan wanted to go there. She was really angry she wasn't invited. And guess who they paired Harry with? Rose Hansberry. And he sat next to her. He walked out, when they walk out and the thing, he walked out with her. And then this Giles Coring guy, Meghan went when she was pregnant in 2018, at the end of 2018, September 2018, they went to this party, the launch of Soho House in Amsterdam, where Giles Coring was there. And then suddenly there's this rumor of Rose Hansberry.
Yeah.
And that's what bothered me about Maureen. She didn't do her work. And she's a reporter, Molly.
Yeah. Not a good reporter. She should stick to JFK's family and the American stuff.
Oh, that's another thing. You know that the guy said that JFK Jr. was great? I could see her face almost exploded because didn't she trash the guy? Didn't she do
she did the whole thing. Yeah. Called Caroline a drug addict and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely. You know who was, when that happened with Maureen and she was getting a ton of backlash, poor Link. Link was so worried because Link reached out to me and he was like, "I hope you know that like I don't share the same." I said, "Look, Link, Just because you guys are on the same platform under the Megyn Kelly umbrella, know that I'm not the type that's like gonna come
Hold
after
it against you.
because of what your coworker said, right? That's her show. Your show is completely different. He thought he was gonna get backlash for it too and lose subs. He was so worried, that poor thing.
But the thing is, again, it has nothing to do, for me at least, has nothing to do with who she has or anything. It's just that being a reporter, because they make this difference. That we're YouTubers, that we don't have this, and like we don't research, we don't do that. And she portrays herself as the paragon of facts, right? I am a 57-year-old woman. All you have to do is style Rose Hansberry rumors. Giles Corin pops on, even his tweets pop by. I would have had that ready for the guy when he was there. There
was no pushback. I hated that. The fact that that guy, he literally looked like a broke ass, bum ass Timu version of Eugene Levy. No offense to Eugene Levy. He literally looks like a Timu Eugene Levy. If that was what, like, you tried to order Eugene Levy online and that's what showed up to your door instead. That guy, it was just his mannerisms, and every time he would talk about Catherine's cancer, he would have like the biggest smile and grin on his face. Like, it brought such pleasure to him that Catherine got cancer. And I was like, this guy is sick and evil. I do not like people who sit there and revel in someone's illness. And like, the guy couldn't stop giggling. Like, you guys are laughing.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Funny. You think it's funny?
She had cancer. I was like, I had to do a double take because I thought I misunderstood or misheard, whatever. And the thing that Maureen didn't push back and say, hey, buddy, I don't think saying that she has cancer is a funny thing. You know what I mean?
Well, if we keep it 100, Paula, Maureen was one of those bitches who jumped on the whole "where is Kate" thing.
That's true.
Her and Kinsey Schofield both jumped on the whole "where is Kate?" the whole Photoshop. They were cackling and laughing about it. Not Kinsey didn't do it on her own channel. She did it on someone else's channel as a guest. And then once the story came out that Catherine has cancer, we were so mean to her. The tears and piss off.
But you know what I mean? And another thing that bothered me, because one of the things that really shocked me, because a lot of people, if you're like me, I even doubted, because the guy said that it was public, that the doctors came out and spoke. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck me, I missed that, and then she said, we shouldn't believe the palace. We should believe you. And she's using a huge platform. Yeah. And when the guy said that, and she showed, she did the thing that Oprah did when she manipulated the headlines with the Harry and Meghan interview.
Yeah.
And when she showed that little thing there, I'm like, fuck. And I went everywhere, Molly, looking for doctors giving press conference or talking about Princess Catherine's thing. Nothing.
The minute he said it, I knew it was BS. Because why? Number one, remember, Catherine thanked all of the caregivers at the hospital that she was at who took care of her, right?
Yeah.
The hospital that she was treated at has some of the best royal doctors that could take it. Why the hell would they need to? Like, that guy was so full of crap. I hope his ass caught on fire. I hope that, like, I was just so disgusted. So disgusted.
And the thing is, though, this is the wonderful thing about the subscribers. Then this lady sent it to me. This is it. And then it turns out to be this doctor who's been charged since 2022 in Italy, who's the Pope's doctor, or was, for falsely claiming that he had operated on people while he was hundreds of miles away, sometimes not even in the same country.
We're supposed to believe him and not.
But why didn't she do her homework? This is the thing that instead she manipulated, and she got that thing because people like me, and I didn't go Google it, and that's the problem I had. That she should have remember Andrew Lowney when he came out with his book? Everybody, the mainstream media, brutal. He went into interviews. They were really rude to him, like questioning his sources and everything. Why didn't she do that?
Chicken shit. Not a good
I don't know. I think she had a narrative to sell, and that's the part that bothers me, Molly.
I feel, well, that guy is very pro Sussex. The way that his book was written, because I know Shauna from the Vintage Reads, she read the book, and she basically told us that it sounds like he went and sat down with Harry and Meghan and regurgitated all of their lies and words. Like, it is very Sussex friendly, and it's a straight up hit piece on Catherine. That's what it is.
This is how he says it here, Molly. For just a few fleeting moments, this is part of the book, right? For just a few fleeting moments, Kate relished. I can tell you nobody fucking relishes disclosing they have cancer. Kate relished the fact that she had shared her own story on her own terms and in her own words. But she also knew she had thrown the royal family into fresh turmoil and that the monarchy was teetering more than 5,460 miles away in her Montecito, California mansion. Another princess dabbed a tear. Yeah, right. Dabbed
Sorry.
And no, not you, but I can't. I get worked up every time I read this. More than 5,460 miles away in her Montecito, California shithole, another bitch, or well, I'm not going to read it so people can understand. So they get the gist. Another princess dabbed at tears as she tried to absorb the head spinning news of her sister-in-law's cancer. For all the tension that has famously existed between them, Meghan told her friends that as the mother of two young children herself, she could not stop thinking about George, Charlotte, and Louis. On the dining room table that served as Meghan's home office desk was the latest edition of People magazine. The cover of the issue, which sold out instantly, posed the most momentous questions at all. Kate has cancer. What happens next? What do you make of this bullshit?
Did Meghan write that and hand it over to him? Like, this sounds like the bullshit that Meghan would write. Like the crap that was written in Harry's Spare about Meghan being curled up on the floor in fetal position, crying. And no, that's straight up Meghan. Meghan dabbing tears. First of all, she's not a princess. And anyone who calls Catherine Kate, we all know is Team Sussex. This came straight from Meghan Markle, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. How would he know that there was People magazine? That's a plug. That's plugging.
Yeah.
They 100%. Plug People magazine, because how the hell would you know that she had a People magazine, which is the spokesperson or the mouthpiece of Meghan Markle?
Yeah, that's why I said it's straight up that came from Meghan in them.
And that she dabbed. Since
when does the only thing Meghan dabs is dabs of weed when she does massive bong rips. That's it. Okay, that's the only dabs Meghan is doing. Massive dabs of good weed with Doria. That's what she's doing.
Oh my God. And where's Doria? Where's the felon? Is she gone? What do you make of that?
She's probably smoking and toking with her lesbian lover somewhere.
What happened with her business, all cash business with vulnerable elderly people?
Oh, dissolved it, trying to hide their footsteps, and nothing. They've completely, since the USA money stopped coming through, nothing at all. Nothing at all. Yeah, all of this needs to be investigated. There's a lot of money that's gone missing. A lot of money. But
and that Archwell Philanthropies finally got an officer assigned to initiate it, because I simply don't understand why she just didn't apply with the inside of Archwell Foundation and just apply for a name change. That costs about $250, but you apply for it. You don't have to get a new number for that. But finally got an officer.
You know why they needed the new number? Because they're trying to cover their tracks. If you get a name change, then you can still pull, they don't want anyone to pull up or remember Archwell Foundation. They don't want anyone going and digging into it. That's why it's Archwell Philanthropies now. But okay, sure.
It's sickening with the mainstream media. It's so frustrating. I was talking to this lady and she's like, it is frustrating because you see they're still on the royal website. You see Harry get away with things. You see Harry pop up in Ukraine. African parks, the idiot was just racing. It was a fundraising for African parks in Arizona, by the way.
That's not it's not. Harry's been going to multiple different fundraisers and parties in New York, in Scottsdale for African parks. He's still there's still events happening, but it's not being out in the media. It's very hush and quiet.
And Molly, since I have you here, I want to show you something here, because this drove me. It's not matter of fact, because she did a hit job on Catherine just recently.
Gravy. I call her Mata O'Gravy.
But listen to this. This is this fat bastard, the one that she sent the thing talking about Invictus. No, but about Vale. Listen to this asshole.
The guy?
Yeah, listen.
So let me get this straight. When Megan Sussex starts telling a story about how
Turn off that shit. Turn off that shit. Turn off that shit. Don't give that.
No, I wanted to understand that this is people. This is, you should see the things he says about Dr. Sophie Chandauka. That is who Megan sent the gifts to. It is the most racist, vulgar things they say about her, which is.
Are you forgetting the many, many tweets that I showed that the Sussex squad were literally calling Sophie Chandauka the House N? They were calling her, House Nigger. Yeah, their own squaddies of color were calling her that. Like, I have the clips of it. I have the screenshots of it. I showed it on my lives like a while back ago. Yeah, that's who they are. It's disgusting. That guy back in 2011, he went through bankruptcy. And the guy's got nothing to his name. So it's clear that Meghan Markle goes after low-hanging fruit. That guy, I did a video about him where I showed that he goes into gyms and he will record other men without their knowledge and make like very sexual remarks about like, oh, I'd fucking do you like me. He is a disgusting sexual gay predator. I mean, now there's nothing wrong with gay people, but he is one of those foul, disgusting ones that you would not want to hang out with. He's the type that you would hear is the one putting things in people's drinks. That's the type of people. He's a freak. He's a complete freak. And Meghan Markle cooked herself by sending her garbage to that guy who openly talks like that about women and girls, because Meghan shows that she is okay with male violence towards women. Meghan showed she's an advocate for that.
She is insane. You know, I was so angry because he goes on, but you should see the thing. They're so vile. I'm actually going to do a video about it because I was like, how can this piece of crap be talking about Dr. Sophie Chandauka? By the way, her families are billionaires, and they started Vale with her family's money. She was an original part of the people who founded it, and they're very good friends with their royal family. And the things that he says, Molly, I mean, that you would get canceled in any platform. I don't even know why that video is still up on TikTok.
Girl, Sophie Chandauka's family is one of the biggest donors to Vale.
And to the Royal Foundation and to the King's Trust, by the way.
You know what? Those Zoom meetings, those are recorded, right? I want to see those meetings.
What Zoom meetings?
Sophie Chandauka had said that she had Zoom meetings.
Oh, yeah, she has the evidence.
Yes, there you go. She has the evidence of Mark Dyer and all of the hostile tape. I want to see that. I want to see what the fuck Harry acts. I think that people shouldn't be covering for Harry anymore because remember when Harry sent Thomas Markle some messages while he was in the hospital? When Harry was in court, the solicitors wouldn't even read it out because of how vile it was. I want to see how nasty Harry gets. Let's see it.
Actually, believe it or not, I'm interviewing one of the witnesses, one of the PI who was a witness at the trial, who stated, I have never signed anything. I never talked. I mean, this guy falsified evidence. This is like.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyone who falsifies or lies to the court, deceives the court, their lawsuit would have been thrown out right away. They would have been held in contempt of court. The fact that Harry is being allowed to constantly go and not just lie, but once the decision has been made, that's it. You've appealed it enough times. We're done. There's no more answers, but they allow him to keep going.
And he hasn't paid back the $2 million, by the way.
He hasn't paid the taxpayer money. The Home Office has spent how many millions now fighting this case? He hasn't paid any. He hasn't even paid the money from the previous court cases either.
It's insane, isn't it, Molly? It's like we're living in bizarro world. And I just want to say something because I know you have to go, sweetie, and also me. But isn't it amazing that there are some traits that the Sussex squaddies share? They are unemployed,
Yeah.
living at home with their parents.
Yeah.
They are vile, lying, gaslighters, and bullies. These are complete, absolute traits of Sussex Squad.
100%. 100%. And it's terrible to see that other, how do I even say this?
Oh, fucking go, let it go.
I know. It's just, you know what? It's shitty to see that other people cannot see this as clear as we do.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of people, like for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example with what happened recently, right? A lot of people say, well, Mole, you're a bully. You're always fighting with creators. You're always like in the middle of shit. And it's like, no, you got to watch what's going on. Because after you were attacked by those two nasty girls, right? It's been like, come after Mole, right? Start fights with her. Then when she
and
defends,
I want to say simply because you didn't even say anything negative about them. You simply started talking to me. Just by talking to me, that's the cardinal sin.
yeah, they didn't want me to be friends with you. But the fact that I stayed friends with you, had your back, wouldn't follow their bullshit and everything, they were like, okay, well, let's start fighting with her. So they start saying things about me. And I will take it to a point, but then when it starts to get to a point where they're saying things like her child is from her father, she sleeps with her father. When they say shit like
You know
that,
how angry I was about that, right?
I know. When there are people in our own community who are spreading this, then I fight back, right? Then I defend myself. And then what happens? Like, I'm going to say it. Fiona attacked me by saying that shit about me, right? She lied that I doxed Wally. She lied and said that I had relations with my father. I defended myself. Then I had Leilani of Barbados come after me. Why? Because
I remember.
yeah, Sue Smith sent her a corrupted file. Sue Smith, I don't do drama. I stay out of drama, but you're always in the thick of it. Sue Smith sent Leilani of Barbados a corrupted file, which instigated Leilani to come after me. I defend myself. Again, it looks like, why is Mole fighting with people? Well, no, Mole is defending herself from these attacks. That was that once Leilani told me she got that clip from Sue and I played the original for her, we saw she got hoodwinked. And then what? And then I had Trevor Colt attacking me.
Remember that?
Yeah. Went
I just, to this day, Molly, I do not understand how more people were not outraged. And this is when Avid came after me because I wasn't even, I don't even know who this fucking Avid is. You know how people keep telling me, Fiona, I don't even know if it's the same person because I don't know these people. And then she came after me and she did a live saying that I had trashed her dead husband. I didn't know she was married. I didn't know her husband had died. I have never talked about her. I know she talked about me. And I mean, and I was like, what are you talking? Simply because they wanted to guide the conversation away from the fact that that what Trevor Cole did, saying that he was going to come after you and your toddler child.
Oh, he was drunk. He was shit-faced. I have the video.
It doesn't matter if he was shit-faced. He wasn't that drunk. If he was standing up, my grandpa used to tell me, a really drunk person, they eat their own shit. If you refuse shit when they serve it to you on a plate, you're not drunk enough.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right. So
I mean, when I'm drunk, I pass out, Molly. I've been carried out completely unconscious. That's when you're really drunk, when you can't talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had to deal with that. Of course, I defended myself and fought back, but then people keep seeing like, oh, Mole is the one who's always involved, right? So they start spinning like Mole's the bully. She's always fighting with people. But no, I'm defending myself from things that people are doing to me. You should be looking at why these individuals are coming after my channel, coming after me, coming after Lauren the Insider. Clearly, these are you even. These are people who have been infiltrated and aren't they are pro Meghan. They are now working with the Sussex Squad to destroy the Megxit community. That's honestly, like, even yesterday, I want to know who put those sisters up to saying, oh, say it was Meghan's Mole who was bullying you when she never did. And that's why you made a fake drunk crying video that you got dumped. I want to know who put that, because I'm hearing it's a certain someone who told them to do that. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because somebody sent me a clip of them saying that they don't know me. Molly, I mean, guys, I did a live, which I regret I deleted it when the whole thing happened in 2024. I brought them in here when they had like 10,000 subs They were a very small channel and they were all happy. Oh my God, we brought them on the Royal Mess. We had a WhatsApp group. I included them in the WhatsApp group,
Yeah,
right?
they were.
And
The
now,
sisters were, yeah, yeah.
and now they're saying they never talked to me. They never
But you
even
know
know.
what's funny? You want to get this? I introduced the Sidleys to Sue Smith, right? I even introduced the Sidleys to the Popcorn Man, right? That's how that connection started. Where even Stephanie sent me a DM saying, "Hey, thank you for connecting us with Popcorn Palace Andy. Do you have a PO box? I'd like to send you a gift." I said, "No, I don't need anything. Like, just enjoy it, right? Like, just have a good time." And then it turns out they're going, "Oh, Sue Smith, like you're the one who like introduced us to Andy, and we're so grateful and thankful to you for
I
that."
know. And
Yeah.
what they did is once I included them in the WhatsApp group with all the YouTube numbers, because there were a bunch of us YouTubers, remember we used to send, they literally grabbed all their phone numbers and they started contacting them,
Yeah.
because some of them
Yeah.
contacted me and said, by the way, you know, these people contacted me and
Yeah.
said that they shouldn't come with you, that you're because they call me odd. I'm a
You
57-year-old woman. I don't live with my mom. I don't fuck married men. I am a very successful person. I'm raising my child who's studying last year aerospace engineering. I think I am okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, they showed their true colors. They showed their true colors. Whoever dripped poison in their ear, it worked. I mean, everything's coming out now, right? I mean, you were dropping the hints. You wanted it to come out. Everything's coming out now. I'm just surprised. Like the sister, I mean, just say so much. I mean, they both sleep with married men. Okay. Like, just that's it. That's it. That's gross. And the fact that they tried to say, "Oh, Mole and Lauren, the insider, were bullying us, so I made a fake video." Like, shut
No,
up.
I lost my shit too when they called Lauren,
I
and I
know.
don't know why they went after Lauren. Because, and I think I know why. Because Lauren, I know that they've tried to tell Lauren not to talk to me and stuff like that. But but Lauren has character, and these are people who want to keep you isolated, and that's one of the things of
They're
abusive
uneducated.
people. They
They're
isolate their victim, just like Megan is doing to Harry, or whichever.
Dude,
It
the
is
fact that
insane.
Stephanie turned around and said that she will try and sue me for defamation, I'm like, that is so Meghan Markle. Go ahead. Spend your mommy and daddy's trust fund money, their retirement cash that they're supposed to enjoy in their years that they have worked hard and set aside. But it's okay. Maybe go and do something with your lives instead of telling all of us about how much you love to drink and take Xanax and have sex in hotel rooms with married men. But anyways, I gotta go. I gotta go
Me
grab my
too, but I
little
want to say thank you
one.
to you, sweetie. This is your channel always.
I love you.
And I want to say thank you to all of you. Please go subscribe to Megan Small, and thank you for coming, gorgeous. Okay, I know you're
Thank you
busy.
for having me. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Bye.
happy birthday to your little boy.
Oh, it's not yet, but just too many parties, man. These kids, I'm gonna go broke. I'm gonna have to sell a kidney. Like these kids, the parties, the toys they want, the labubus they want. See, this is how you know Harry and Meghan have no children around them either. You never talk about this because kids, there's lots of parties to go to all the time. It's expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. You never see those kids going to any kids' parties. That's for sure.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well,
Anyways, I
thank you
love
for
you all. I
coming,
love your
sweetie.
subscribers. And you know what? I'm sorry about yesterday. Like, I'm sorry about
Oh
all
God,
the
no! I've been watching and laughing. I've been watching and laughing. I'm
I'm
sharing it with
upset
everybody,
with myself.
Molly.
I'm upset with myself and how many F-bombs I
Oh
dropped.
God, no! God, no!
I'm
You know,
upset.
I shared a very personal story with you, right?
Yeah,
About why this resonates with me. So,
yeah.
as a kid, you don't want your parents to
No
be in
woman
that kind of
wants
frame.
that. No, I'm sorry. I'm a woman's woman. I'm a girl's girl. I don't want no concubines around me. Go away. Anyways, I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. Bye.
Bye-bye, gorgeous.
Bye.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think it was right for Beatrice and Eugenie to show up at the wedding? Do you think that was right? I really think that those two skanks should have stayed away, especially now that Harry was overheard saying that Eugenie's the one who was behind the introduction. I mean, we all knew it by now, right? And I just got to say something. I posted my video yesterday about Harry being overheard. I mean, he was at the party of Jose Andres, but from what witnesses were saying. Well, oh my God, miracles of miracles. Today or yesterday, after I posted my video, like 8 or 9 hours after I posted my video, suddenly Chef Jose Andres is saying that Harry and Meghan Markle are just like any other couple. Yeah, and we love Molly. Yes, we watch Molly and we love. You know, there's a saying in Spanish, guys, which is very interesting, and I'm gonna try to translate it. If you see a nanny in the park and you see the child crying, and you go, "Oh my God, what a bratty little kid," but maybe you don't know that the nanny has been pinching and poking the kid behind your back, so all you see is the crying child. We live in a time where it reminds me very much of my ex-husband when he used to punch the hell out of me. And how dare you defend yourself? Just keep it quiet. I remember one time, one of the few times I went to the police station with my busted lip, and they made me feel embarrassed about it. They made me feel like, why are you here? You know, it's like, this is embarrassing that you're showcasing. You should just go away. Just ignore it. It's unseemly. But it wasn't unseemly, the fact that I was being beaten up. You know that in my platform, I used to invite YouTubers a lot from very small platforms until I was burnt in the ass. And I try to stay out of drama and stuff like that. But there's been a couple of times when I've been forced to, or I felt compelled to defend. For example, I do not think any of you beautiful people think it's correct that a grown-ass man is going to threaten the life of a little boy and a single mom. I don't think any of you think that. And alcohol is not a justification. My ex-husband used to hide under the ruse of alcohol. Oh, I was drinking, but you were standing up. You were throwing the punch. Trevor knew what he was saying. His sentences were structured. So he was okay. He was sober enough. To this day, I'm still in shock that people defend that kind of behavior or excuse it. Oh, well, he was drunk. No. There's no excuse for violence against a woman, against anybody, but particularly a woman, a single mom and her child. Or to have two grown-ass women called another lady as a mother, call her Eva Braun or a Nazi when she'd never done anything. And then they get angry when these people defend themselves or others stick up for them. There's a big difference. And we have to have a moral compass. It's not about whether you're Mexican or not. It has nothing to do with that. But when people do that and they try to make you feel guilty for defending yourself, I'll tell you something. I think I said it once. One of the times my ex-husband was beating me, he would try not to hit my face, but one time he got a little bit roughed up and I covered my arm and I had a big watch and he hit his fist against the watch, right? And I apologized. I'm sorry. Did you hurt your hand? And it's like, and then when you go back and think about that, it's like, what the and he was angry. I didn't even hit back. I was just covering my face. But even that, he was angry. That made him angrier. So, and I wish I could go to the World Cup games because I would love to see Cristiano, but it's so expensive. It's almost, there's only like a couple of tickets left and there's like $4,000 each. I would kill to go to Cristiano's. I kid you not. I would to the first game from Portugal because I know he'll play on the first game. If they qualify, they'll go to the second game. But I would give anything to go watch him play. And I think he's playing in Houston, the first game. So yeah, but I think, this is insanity that we're living in these days, that for speaking out the truth or defending yourself, you're called out. So thank you very much. Please go support Molly. Go support Matt the Angry Bootnik. I want to apologize if I said a few cuss words when I was talking about Henry Nowak, and I apologize if I got emotional. But that is something that as a human being, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get a prime minister coming out and praising a community just without even. You don't have to malign a community to simply praise other people. You don't have to denigrate others to do that. So thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Bye. Beautiful people.